Hey guys, I hope everybody's enjoying Season 6 of Diablo 3. I'm going to be showing you guys today a very popular build with this Archon that we've got this season. And the reason why it's probably so popular is because it's one of the most survivable builds that you can run with while keeping your damage high and not having to drop too much damage or go with like a full tank build for group play or anything like that. So what your survivability mostly comes from is this orb of infinite depth, and then the other part's going to come from your Parth and defenders and your Halo. So you're going to be using these three things with your damage reduction, and your Halo here is going to proc the ice armor from this, and that's going to stun the enemies, give you damage reduction from your bracers there. And also, I like to use the Calamity rune with teleport. So when you're dashing, so like you can use Safe Passage, but like Safe Passage, I find that you dash, you get 30% damage reduction, but really the majority of your damage reduction comes more from these bracers. And usually when I'm dashing into more than three enemies. I'm usually dashing into 5, 6, or 50 of them. So you dash into as many enemies as you can, a group of enemies there. You just dash right into the very middle of them. It'll stun all of them, and you'll get the damage reduction from all those mobs from your defenders. And that really gives you, I find, more survivability than just going with Safe Passage. Just gives you that stun on all those mobs. And then also with the Orb of Infinite Depth, each hit that you hit them with gives you 5% or each blast increases 5% of your damage reduction, and is increases damage 5%. Damage reduction increased 15% for 6 seconds, and it stacks 4 times. So this will give you 60% damage reduction, and it'll increase your damage up to 20% with this Orb of Infinite Depth. So, but you have to get up to 4 stacks, but you dash into the middle of them. Really, it takes a little bit of timing. You want to set off your explosive blast and then dash right into the middle, and stun them all right as it's going off, and get all of that damage reduction kind of simultaneously. So you're stunning them all, getting that, and then hopefully your ice arm will be going off as well, stunning them, keeping them nice and stunned and frozen, and then you'll get your blast up there, your damage reduction. All right, cool. So now the rest of the stuff, right, got the Swami for the increase of the bonus, keeps it after your Archon expires, 20 seconds. Now the more cooldown that you have, the more you'll be able to make use of this bonus, of this Swami. So the longer it takes for your Archon to cool down, the less time you're going to get, to add more stacks on with your belt here, to give you that extra damage boost before that stuff expires. So the more cooldown you have, again, the more use you'll be able to get out of this, but you don't need to pop your Archon so fast because you still need time to build stacks on your Chantotos, because every attack that you deal with your Chantotos set here is going to add 350% weapon damage onto this pulse. So at 20 stacks, that's 7,000% weapon damage. You only technically need 9 stacks to get enough weapon damage to ignite the enemies on your from your 4 set of your Firebirds. 9 stacks is 3,250 weapon damage, and that's enough to ignite them. But again, the more weapon damage, the more stacks you have, up to 20 will be 7,000 weapon damage, and that's where a lot of your damage is going to come from. It's going to be from that. So you want to build that up as fast as you can and get your Archon cool down, and then burst out of there, basically. And then the Zodiac Ring adds more cooldown. We've got the Halo, we've got that covered. The Traveler's Pledge and the Compass. I found this has been the best combination running through Greater Rifts for me, because when I'm moving and everything, I've got the reduced damage reduction. So when my Archon goes down, I just kind of keep moving. I can run through quite a bit of stuff. Just a little bit of trash mobs and stuff, and with my dodge and everything, I can run through that basic stuff while I'm using my explosive blast, and then I can find a bunch of mobs, and I can just dash into the middle of them and set it all off, and I've got the damage reduction there. So I just find and you've got that, and then once you're in the middle of them, right, just the way it works out, then you're in the middle of them, and now you're building up your damage reduction, really high damage reduction, but now you're standing still, right, and your damage is starting to build now from this, and then you pop your Archon, add even more stacks on, right? And then that's when your damage is really at its highest, is right then. And it just works out really nicely that way because you're moving, and then you pull a bunch of them all in, build up your stacks and your damage on your Chantotos, pop your Archon, and burst right out of there, and you get 100% extra damage at maximum power once you've been standing still. And there's no other thing that's going to give you that much damage, coupled with that much damage reduction. If nothing, the damage you just cannot make up for, I've found, with other combinations of items. So we've got the belt, automatically start with extra stacks. Got that extra damage because it carries over, and with enough cooldown. So I have right now 65.58 cooldown. Now that's probably higher than a lot of most people, but you can go with more damage or you can go with more cooldown. I just prefer having higher cooldown over the higher damage because I can get my damage up high. I can get my damage up through stacks with kills, you know, just as well with getting it up with more damage on my Chantotos as well. So whether I get more stacks on my Chantotos and I get kills, or whether I reset my Archon a little bit faster while I still have that damage bonus, add more stacks on, give myself more damage, and continue building, you know, really it can work either way. And I'll run through the rift and we can see how this goes here. So as soon as I get through the rest of the gems, we've got the Bane of the Trapped. We've got the Gogak of Swiftness for the cooldown and the dodge, and then the Stricken gem. This is the I found best in slot third gem because every hit, especially against the Realm Guardians, is what really puts it over the top. Like the long fights with the Realm Guardians go so much faster with this gem. Every hit they just take more damage, and your damage is already insanely high. So anything else, it'll just make the Guardian fights way too long. Okay, so we've got the gear, we've got the defenders, we've got that, and skills. So we've got ice armor with crystallize. So that's going to give you armor, damage reduction, and that's going to proc your ice armor from your halo, give you that stun and your power defender damage reduction. We've got arcane torrent with static discharge. And this is really good for you can lob these into a lot of places and spread them out, you know, but you want to get lots of hits and stuff like that with your first hit, and make sure those bolts hit as many things as they can to build up your Chantotos and also keep your Gogak Swiftness stacks up nice and high. Okay, so and then skills, we got explosive blast, chain reaction, teleport with calamity, Archon with teleport, magic weapon with deflection, audacity, unstable anomaly, blur, and evocation. So again, this is going to give you a shield whenever you attack, and it's important to keep attacking, even if you're moving but there's nothing around you, to keep using your blast, because this will give you that shield. As long as this counts as an attack, and that will give you the shield from your damage reduction on that. Okay, so we've got that. All right. So that's the gist of it there. And now I'm going to cruise through a 75 here, and we can demonstrate the build a little bit. So we get those on, and we're running through. Get damage reduction from our travelers. Set that off, going right into a bunch. You want to stand right on top of the elite pack as you're setting off your explosive blast. And then you build up your stacks and your Chantotos. We pop our Archon. And now, you basically, once you've tagged every single elite pack, once you've tagged an entire elite pack, you get the damage boost from your Firebird's refinery right here. So it's really just a matter of getting your beam, you know, through them. So when you see an elite pack, cast your beam, pull a 360, and make sure you just tag them all, and then your damage boost will go up like instantly as soon as you've done that. You can also give your little quicks, you know, every now and then, just do a little teleport in there just to give yourself, you know, just to re-stun them. Keep that damage boost up. And the longer you're standing still, more damage you build up, but you don't get your damage reduction. So you don't want to keep still for too long, you don't want to stay moving for too long. You can just teleport right on top of him and then pop the Chantotos, and there he goes. I didn't even have to wait so long. Once you've got 20 stacks on your Chantotos and your Archon is up, you can pop it right away. You don't have to wait until your Chantotos is at a full 20 stacks, because sometimes popping your Archon is you know, enough to kill everything around you, and that's enough to keep you alive as well. But you also get damage reduction when you have your Archon up, so you're tougher when you have it up. So sometimes you just need to basically, you know, pop it to get it up. You bring up your damage reduction again and teleport just to get out of whatever elite affixes might be casting around you. But the idea is you want to pull lots of stuff, get an elite pack right here like this. Yep, stand on top of them, get your explosive blast and your Chantotos up, and then pop. See how he's got the lightning there? You might not always have time to get a full 20 stacks, right, standing there before you pop your Archon, but ideally, yeah, you can build up a full 20 stacks on your Chantotos. Archon's cooled down, pop it, and that's really the money shot right there. It's when your damage is right at its highest. And there we go, 17 stacks, close enough. And it's also good to remember every tap, every time you touch an enemy, you know, with your laser beam, every time you do one of those and you pass right through them, they take more damage from your stricken gem, right? All you have to do is hit them. And since that laser beam doesn't really, like, if you want to think about attack speed, okay, all these abilities have attack speed. This is my attack speed. The attack speed is how fast I can wave my beam back and forth through the mob. That's my attack speed. So you basically spam your beam left and right through them, you know, like you're a twitching madman, and you'll hit them, you know, faster than pretty much any of your other abilities can do. And you can also just tag an entire room, right? You know, like this, and just go like this all the way around. Works very well. See? And there. Yeah, right there. Just keep standing near them, passing your beam nice and through them. Nice damage on your Chantotos. Look at that. And teleport. You really just need to set them on fire, but you want to really keep looking for elite packs. That's pretty much the greater rift strategy that, you know, will never go out of style. Keep sniffing for elite packs. Same over. Let me say as much stuff as you can on fire, but you gotta keep finding elite packs to get your damage burst up. So you've got all this trash and one elite pack. Stand right on top of them. Alright. Not when they've got the frost pulse. There we go, and oh, we missed one. That one's still burning. Keep the damage boost. Alright, now you come here. Oh. It's not perfectly fail-proof. But this is basically how you mow them down, and it works the same with Realm Guardians. There he goes. Even pros make mistakes occasionally. But we can still face tank this guy. I died again. Maybe I should have picked a lower level rift. Fuck. One thing that people say is not so fun about Archons is that you're either one-shotting stuff or you're getting one shot. And really just about every build that works. That almost every high level grift, that's how it goes, I've found. But that's how the general plan is. That's how it works. I just had a little bit of bad timing there, getting the Realm Guardian up right as my Archon went down and all my cheat deaths. I wasn't paying as much attention as I was running through, but give it a try, guys. I hope you like it. You know, this is a little bit higher level than what I normally would do for leisure. Anyways, this is a 75, and my gear is not fantastic, but it works very well. You know, this wasn't the best rift ever, but hope you like the video, guys. Okay, enjoy.